Fucking StreamYard. Apologies that I'm pretty much nearly half an hour late for a last minute stream anyway. But yeah, I don't know what it is. And I'm trying to still figure out the problem. That's my foot on the floor making a sound, by the way. I only burp on camera, I don't fart. Yeah, I don't know what it is with StreamYard recently, these past few weeks. Can that be classed as recently? I don't know. But I'm just having so many fucking issues, and hopefully this works now. So if the stream just cuts abruptly, I do apologise. And thank you to David and Craig and anyone else who's been sat here watching and probably left by now, rightfully so. And the comments, we've got David. You'll have to excuse me, I'm going to have to get close so you can see my wonky eyes. Get it poured. Nice one, Peter. Nice one, David. Apologies again for making you wait. As yourself, Craig H, who says late, rightfully so. I should just keep that comment on, shouldn't I? Excuse me. And then Dave Jones says, artwork on the can looks interesting. Yeah, it is. I never used to sort of like DEYA's rebrand to this sort of style, but I actually really do like it. I like how sort of, I don't use the word imperfect it is, but I like how hand-drawn and sort of, what's the right word? Analog is not the right word. You know, like it actually looks like it's coloured in with pen, and you know what I mean? And it's not just like vectorized or whatever. But yeah, I do like it. It's hand-drawn. That's what I like about the artwork. Then we've got the legend that is James Rotherham. Evening. Good evening to yourself. And another legend. You're all legends, by the way. Craig and David, you're legends also. And we've got another legend, Raggy. Good evening, all, who's back on the live streams. I've got them all waiting to be played on my Watch Later playlist, which is ever growing again. And evening, says Goldrake. Good evening to yourself as well. So I thought it would be fitting to do until the bitter end, because we've just, well, yesterday we came to the bitter end of what was an absolutely fantastic Euro 2020 campaign, which unfortunately ended with us being beaten by Italy. I know it's easy to sort of like say, well, they sort of cheated and got away with a lot of stuff, but I don't know if that would have, it could have, it definitely could have made a difference, I suppose. But yeah, it is, it's gutting, isn't it? But I think we could take a lot of positives from it. This is the first time in a lot of people's lives that they've seen England in a final. And it's just the start, because we've always got next year, the World Cup. So we'll see how we go. And let's see. The ref was a tosser. He certainly was. Certainly was. My local got smashed up last night by chavs. I think our local was pretty okay. It was quite jovial from what I could hear. So even though we lost, I think spirits were kind of high. Well, I hope they were, because as I said, a lot to be proud of. And yeah, I think the elephant in the room is the sort of absolutely disgusting but expected, which to me is the worst thing. Well, it's not. What's being said is fucking awful, but it's the fact that we've come to expect sort of like these racial comments and just some really just disgusting things to be said about people who have probably done a lot more for their own country than those who are writing these comments. And yeah, it's just really sad. I mean, it's a shame it's to be expected, but let's not. Well, I don't want to say let's not dwell on it too much, because it is, you know, it's a massive thing. But yeah, it is what it is, and it's really sad to see. It's just had 70k spent on it too, and it got smashed up extremely badly. Windows, TVs, mirrors, chairs, tables, everything smashed. Such horrible behaviour. That's really awful to hear, especially the last year and a half that the hospitality industry has had. It's just, and with some of the stuff that I've seen, that not just the typical racism against your own countrymen. I don't fully understand that. But some of the like scenes that I've seen, and it's just like, is this really who we are? Are we showing our true colours right now? I'm not one of those people who, goes too much into like social justice and that sort of thing. But it's just sad that a lot of these people who call themselves patriots act in such an absolutely awful way. So yeah, it was just really, really awful to see some of the things that's happened. Yeah, that's why I didn't want to go to the pubs. I knew if England lost, it'd just be chaos and disgusting behaviour, all because England lose a game. Still no impact on their lives, and people need to just get a grip. Definitely could not agree more. And to a lot of those people who were leaving those absolutely awful tweets and things on their Instagram stories and stuff, it's like, well, what are you doing with your life right now? Do you know what I mean? It's just Peter the SJW, soy boy, forever a soy boy. But yeah, it's just like you said, get a grip. Just get a grip. Hey ho. So yeah, that's my sort of brief venture into that side of things. So yeah, and to mark a very bitter end to what was a fantastic campaign, another instalment of Until the Bitter End, and I think this is the second time DEYA has appeared on this series. It's just basically a review of a beer. I don't know why I'm giving it a series name. So this is Worried Dream Premium Bitter, 5% ABV, brewed in collaboration with, is it pronounced Tilly's or Tyleys? I'm not too sure. I'm not sure who they are, actually. I can't really read too much on the actual their logo on the can, whether it's a brewery or a bar or somewhere completely different. But anyway, this is a good old-fashioned premium bitter. Deliciously smooth, hoppy and easy drinking premium bitter, finest Brookhouse hop and a sneaky yeast blend. Sneaky yeast blend sounds good to me. Brewed in collaboration with our good friend at Tyleys, or Tilly's, however it's pronounced. Lush. And as we said, once again, really nice artwork on this. 500ml can, always appreciated from Dave. Just having a few ales tonight as my birthday in 2 days' time. Tonight I'm doing Fuller's beers. Well, happy pre-birthday to yourself, sir. And not had anything from Fuller's for quite a while. I was in Liverpool on Friday night and then went back on Saturday night because, well, I got picked up from my house by Adam from Mersey Beers, who kindly gifted me this can, Harry from Bluden's Beer Reviews, and Greg from Bullman's Beer Reviews, which was a very pleasant surprise because I thought he'd just be we'd be meeting him in Liverpool. But yeah, to have the chaps pick me up, and then we went to, I can't remember where it is, but one of Adam's sort of regular haunts. I had a half there of, I can't remember what it was. And then obviously we went to Liverpool, went to Carnival, which probably my highlight of the weekend drinking wise. The highlight was being able to finally meet Adam after the amount of times he's left something very nice in my bin cupboard. Not a euphemism, although it nearly became a euphemism while we were drinking back at his house. Disclaimer, nothing happened. But yeah, and also got to meet Greg, as well, and I hope it's the first of many times. So yeah, I had a great time in Liverpool. Went to some great places, drank some great beers, and more importantly, shared it with some absolutely amazing people. And I shall be doing that again not next weekend. Yeah, not this weekend, the weekend after. Because I'm going to be meeting up with Craig from Kent Beer Reviews and also Adam again, as they're both going to the Manchester Craft Beer Festival. I think that's what the actual name of the festival's called. Don't think I'll be going to any of the sessions, but I'm going to be staying over and hitting some tap rooms and bars on the Sunday with them. So looking forward to that. Thanks, mate. Well, if I don't see you before then, have a good one, and I'll have a drink for you. Fuller's Boost for me is spot on. Great examples of traditional ales. I would very much agree. And sounds like you had a good weekend, mate. Yeah, it was. It was very much needed for a few reasons, to be honest. So yeah, it wouldn't have mattered where we'd have gone, what I would have drank. It was just great to actually be with people again. And as I said, it's going to be the first of a few trips that are going to be happening for the remainder of this year. I went to Wolverhampton Saturday and drank 8 sex ales and blew fucking hell 550 quid. I don't think I even spend that much on beer in half a year. But yeah, well, you know, we've had a shit time of it, haven't we? And it's your birthday coming up, so why the fuck not? And cheers again. Anyway, so let's get this opened. Had an absolutely fantastic mild in probably my second favourite place that we went to. Can't remember the name of it. I need Adam here to refresh my memory. But I also had my first, which you shock horror, I had my first pickled egg. I've never had a pickled egg before. I don't know why. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't matter where you are, what you're doing. It's the company that sounds certainly absolutely spot on. So, and also new glass, which I purchased. I did purchase this from Liverpool when we went to Black Lodge, and I had a really nice fish butty. Not my sort of go-to sort of food whilst drinking, unless it's a fish and chips or a chippy tea with a few beers. By the way, Liverpool, best chip, probably the best chip I've ever been to. Lobster pot. Unfortunately, we didn't hit it up while we were in Liverpool, but yeah, fantastic. And it's right by Liverpool Central, so you get really good chippy literally across the road from your train ride home. That beer seems really nice, just judging from the can. Yeah, it's got it all. Presentation wise, I know DEYA can brew a really good bitter. I think they were actually quite good at, ales that aren't hazy IPAs, even though that's what they're, primarily known for. Black Lodge Taproom is great. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's just a nice setup. It was a nice evening. I like the area, sort of like obviously it's like dock, but then you've also got the sort of like what's it? Not industrial. Well, it is industrial because it's on a fucking dock essentially. Then you've got like the skyscrapers. I love that sort of outdoor space when you've got different forms of like architecture going on, and the beers were good as well. And I really like this glass. Adam doesn't like this style of glass, but I think, to me, it's one of the most satisfying glass styles, the turbo glass, to hold. Really need to get to a bottle shop. Might go tomorrow, get a few birthday sex ales. Well, first we'll highlight James's comment, give Black Lodge a shout out. And Has to be done. Has to be done, my friend. And I'm also trying to introduce my Carling and wife beater drinking mates to more craft beers. Yeah, it's always a satisfying experience when you give your mate a taste of a beer or get them a beer that they wouldn't usually buy and they really enjoy it. I think that's the great thing about the whole supermarket situation now. Do you know what I mean? It's just these multi-buy offers, 4 for £6 or 4 for £7 at the local co-op, or 3 for £5 or whatever. It's just we've talked about it time and time again, haven't we? It's just a great way to introduce yourself to beers, but also when you see something a little bit different on at a pub or a bar that you're going to with friends, then it's always good, isn't it? Plus, that was one of the few good things about Wetherspoons. I would say I'm boycotting it. I've just not had an opportunity to go to Wetherspoons. So I can't really get on any high horse. I've obviously already transformed 3 of my mates to drink craft stuff. It makes me feel so satisfied when they get a good ale. Exactly. And that's what I like about having friends over and stuff. Because if I've got a beer and someone's interested to try some, try it, and if you like it, have the rest of it. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Because I think people, even though I think it's a little bit more sort of like socially acceptable to be interested in this sort of stuff. There was that, and there still is a stereotype of, oh, well, I'm liking this beer, I'm not going to drink anything else, and you can have a taste, but give me the rest back. Do you know what I mean? It's an alcoholic beverage at the end of the day. They all end up doing the same thing to people, so fuck it. But anyway, beer in the glass, and it's got a nice unclear look to it. It's a bit more golden. It's almost got like to me like a sort of like Keller style lager look to it. The beer poured with about initially 1 finger's worth of Whitehead, which is now reduced to a film. But yeah, that looks absolutely lovely. A bit more of a paler bitter. Anyway, let's give it a swirl and a sniff. It's just got that back to basics, simple. They've made it hoppy, but they've not abused it with like aromatic American hops or anything like that. It's bready, it's biscuity. It does have a little bit of like a slight lager aroma to it, but that's never a bad thing. There's like this sort of mellow, the like cinnamon flavored chewing gum. Very subtle though, very, very subtle. Nice grassy herbal notes. There's a subtle sweetness. When it's very faint, I do tend to, instead of just saying faint, I say subtle. Very subtle. He's a good. He's Ebenezer good. And there is a little bit of a fruitiness there to it. But it's got that, it's musky. It's sort of like pretentious flavour alert. It's like when it's been raining the night before and you step outside and you've got like a wet grass aroma. You can smell like damp in the air. Yeah, exactly. I look, beer something to enjoy and relax with. Craft beers are a good talking point with your friends too. But I sort of see them being nerd at times. Yeah, same here. I mean, I've come to. I mean, it used to be something that like family members and like close friends outside of the hobby would sort of like take the piss out of me for. And I do sometimes find it really hard to talk about beer to people who aren't really interested in beer. and I never want to come across as like a snooty, snobby. I mean, I'm pretentious as fuck in general, but I own it. I own my hipster twatterdom, and I wear it with pride. But yeah, it's gone from what you drink, what you drink, that's a fancy beer, to that looks good. Can I have a try? And that's what I like. And I've actually got a few people into sort of being a bit more conscientious and that sort of stuff. Conscientious, that's a stupid word to say. When I'm in the pubs near me, I know more about beer than the pub landlords, which is sort of saying something. I can't ever think of a situation where someone's actually being impressed with my expertise on beer. And I think this whole series of Until the Bitter End was to sort of familiarize myself with the bitter style and the different sorts of, bitters you can get hold of, and going from the really traditional to this latest bitter from a brewery who you don't expect to do bitters. So this series isn't about me trying to educate people. I never want to do that. I just want to drink a beer, talk about it, and listen to what people have got to say. So the series is more for me, I'm going to say. Most Carling drinkers will get as far as drinking a Stella. That's about it, really. Yeah, treat themselves. Or if there's a Peroni on tap, which has always been one of those really overpriced macro lagers where I think, why? Why would you pay like trendy craft beer price in a lot of places for a pint of Peroni? I don't understand it. But if that's what people like, that's what they like. I don't mind the old Peroni every now and then. Bought a 6-pack of Miller Genuine Draft. Really enjoyed it. That's a beer that I like to drink quite a lot, really. Stella with a Christmas dinner. Yeah, Christmas always reminds me. Well, it happens over Christmas, so I don't know why it's reminded me, but every Christmas there always seems to be like one of those 24 packs or 12 packs or 16 packs of like the 275 milliliter bottles of Stella, which I end up just probably drinking the most of out of everyone else, even though I've been buying beer throughout the year to save for Christmas, which I never end up drinking, and then just getting a shit ton of fridge fillers to enjoy over Christmas. Peroni is just meh, very overpriced. Yeah, it is. I've never understood the price point of Peroni compared to a lot of other beers that are very similar. But yeah, just Stella on Christmas. That's got to be a common thing. Well, mind you, Stella started off as like a Christmas beer, didn't it? But I mean, I can't. Stella's really good every now and then. I think my go-to lager is definitely Bud Light. I've said it time and time again. I've got a lot of love for that beer. And I've not gonna lie, I've been enjoying the seltzers as well that they've been doing. It's the same with Birra Moretti, so overpriced. It is, but I would say Birra Moretti's got maybe a little bit more flavour to it. But again, very, very expensive in a lot of places. I think the Air and Ounce has got Peroni. They've got neck oil from Beavertown, which wasn't tasting too bad last time I had it. Much better than the cans that I've had in recent months. Fucking hell. Beavertown's beers and cans just completely gone down the pan. Lupuloid was awful last time I had it. I want to get a 4-pack of Gamma Ray soon, because I remember really, really enjoying that. But speaking of enjoying a beer, I think it's about time I took a sip. What a smooth segue. Cheers, folks. Well, it lives up to its name. It's got a really distinct and pronounced hoppy bitterness to it. It was very earthy. It's got a bit of spice. It's grainy. Just like the nose, though, I am getting a slight lager-like flavour to it, which I really do enjoy. It's not one of those bitters that's syrupy, because I do find that, especially the sort of like the darker bitters, where you can clearly tell even just by looking at them that the malt build's a little bit more roasted, but it's got a level of crispness that falls in line with like a pilsner or like a Keller pilsner. Beavertown are bloody awful now, a disaster. It is. It's such a real shame. Really, really is. And I love the smell of a dunkel beer, long as it doesn't ruin the taste. A skunked beer. God, my eyes are terrible. I need new glasses. Yeah, I do. On the sly, I do like a skunky lager on the nose. And sometimes I think skunkiness can help a beer. An example that always comes to mind is Corona. There's something, I don't know, there's something quite enjoyable about a badly kept and skunky Corona. Don't know what it is. A lot of other lagers they taste fucking awful when they're skunked. But Corona, I think that's a little exception. Corona and Desperados. I don't know what it is. I think skunkiness adds to those beers. It's a little bit more bready now that everything's in there. It's definitely clouded up more. So this is, for me, one of those beers you just pour straight in. If your vessel's big enough, pour it all in. I'm glad that's bulked up considerably now it's all in the can. I don't know what DEYA's sort of output is on cask, but I think this would be an absolutely banging cask bitter. It's full to the brim of those like classic traditional bitter flavors, but there's a real refined hoppiness to it without it tasting hoppy. And it is, when I say spicy, I don't mean like hot spicy, but there's a spiciness to it. There's a bit of a kick, quite a big pepperiness as well. I'm getting a very, very, very subtle, ever so slight citrus flavour coming through as well. It's like a little bit of sharpness. And I tell you what, a 6-pack of this, or a pint of this on cask, and this is coming from someone who was quite against cask for the longest point. Fucking swollen, it's all over myself. I was quite against cask for a long time. I don't know what it was. It was probably because I might have just had like 3 or 4 average cask beers in a row. Do you know what I mean? Whereas if I'd have had 3 or 4 average keg beers, I wouldn't have attributed it to it being on keg. Whereas cask, I don't know why I had a stick up my arse about cask. I don't know, because I've had some beautiful cask beers. And I think this would be absolutely wonderful. I mean, it's gorgeous as it is in the can. It really, really is. Can't remember the name of the other bits that I had, but I think I'm enjoying this one more off memory. But there's been a lot of beers since then. So it's never good to be anecdotal when it comes to your beer tasting. Just love the smell of skunk. Yeah, I do. It's one of those things where I don't go out of my way to partake in it. But if it's offered, then why would you turn it down? Although I do always feel shit because I don't think I've ever really paid for it. Do you know what I mean? It's always been something, the generosity of others that I've enjoyed in the partaking of said plant. It's not a drug, it's a plant. Not had it for quite a while though, that will be said. Cask ales are nice, although quite a lot of pubs can't look after it properly. I think that's played a big part in my sort of initial disliking to cask beers. It's a process you need to know properly. Definitely. And I can't do it now for like 2 months because I'm starting a new job. I want to make sure I don't come positive. Very smart. But once you've got that job, I can think of worse ways to celebrate. And good luck, by the way. It's all kicking off for you, my friend. Very good. And next week, restrictions are being lifted. I've not seen any of the press conferences from today, so I'm not too sure exactly what's going on, but it's good to see that we're getting to that place now, even with the amount of cases, but without getting too bogged down in the conversation, because YouTube doesn't like normal people talking about the C word. I think there's something, I don't know. It's amazing how they're like, on the one hand, they're sort of almost panicking about the rises in cases, but on the other hand, they're rarely, or at least wanted us to think that they are, pushing for the sort of like restrictions to be completely lifted. And it's like, do they know something that we don't? Or are they just trying to build our hopes up? But I think it's a true testament to our the program. Again, can't say that keyword on YouTube anymore. All I say is, if you're a fan of the band The Vaccines, that's a way I could get around it, but I'm not clever enough to incorporate that sort of talk into this conversation. It shouldn't have ever been extended. I think the program, I think we could have got away with it, to be honest. Although that being said, from Monday, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to stop wearing my mask. I'm still going to be I'm probably going to be a bit overly cautious. Peter, don't worry that you've never paid. I can't even roll it. Neither can I. And the sad, pathetic thing is, if I were to pay for it, I would actually go to the length of giving them a little bit more money if they could pre-roll it for me. And there's some good stuff floating around locally. Really is. We've got quite a Scam gets shat on a lot, but if you're looking for a good time, then the supply is there and it's good stuff for the most part. We've got another legend amongst legends, Craig from Kent Beer Reviews, who I shall be seeing next Saturday and Sunday, saying evening Peter and giving a cheers to Gold Drake. And oh my god, your drug dealers will tell you to do one. Yeah, they will. Luckily, a lot more friends than I realised actually deal. So, or like friends of friends. So it's always there, but yeah, I'm just too much of a child, I suppose. That's why I'd love to, stop buying cigarettes and roll my own. But I know for a fact I'm going to lose half of the tobacco on the floor. And Goldrake says cheers to Craig. So to wrap up, this to me is an absolutely fine example of a premium bitter. As I said, it's got all of the classic characteristics that you want from the style, but there's just some little tweaks that sort of bring out the best in those traditional characteristics, but also make it fit in with the sort of like beer landscape that we have now. And it's probably one of the better. Not, I don't think I've really had a bad. Mind you, I had a couple of ropey ones from, like, if I remember, Polly's was one of them, and there was somewhere else I can't remember. But this is probably one of the best examples of a modern sort of take on a bitter. But it's not really a modern bitter. It's quite classic and traditional. But yeah, it's bottom line is it's a very good beer, and they've done a fantastic job. And I think it's beers like this that will help people who are more into the the juice bombs, the haze bro sort of side of things. And I think it'll help people get into these sorts of beers more if they know one of the hype breweries can pull off a fantastic example of that style. And I think they really have. It's going down so quick. It's not as chilled down as I'd like it to be, because I've pretty much only put it in the fridge when I came back from work, when I decided that I wanted to do this live review. But even as it's warming up now, the flavours in there, spot on, absolutely spot on. It's a cracking beer, great example of the style. With a little bit, hate using phrases like this, but it's got a little bit of a contemporary twist. That's going to be my shtick from now on. When I come up with poncy sentences, I'm going to put on that simpleton voice. Oh, that's good. That's very good. Highly recommended. Massive thank you to Adam once again for including this in some beers that we went halves on. I nearly, because I can't deal with hangovers, so I've got to drink when I wake up. I nearly had Adam's can, which he was more than willing to provide to me for my drive home, because he even drove me home, which is offered to put me up in his house. Really didn't want to do that, especially with his better half, because nobody needs to smell my bedroom after I've had a drink. Plus, it's stuff like that I have massive social anxieties over. So I just crashed Harry's hotel room. And boy, what a wonderful smell that was. As soon as I woke up, I was feeling like utter arse. I knew I had to travel home within the next few hours. So cracked open a bottle of Paulaner Munich Helles, which was tasting beautiful at room temperature out of a bag. I didn't drink it out of a bag. It was just in my backpack. And then when we saw Harry off in his Uber, so he could get the train, me and Adam went to Greg's to get some food. On the way there, stopped off in a corner shop. I saw that they had the cans of the red Peroni. I know I've just been shitting on Peroni, but that's the awful sort of version that we get. The white label with the blue design and red writing. They actually have the cans of the red label, which I think it is a different beer. I think that's the one that you would probably see more in Italy. And it was tasting good on the the drive home in Adam's car because I've got social anxiety of spending the night after drinking in someone's house. Hotel room, don't give a fuck. No one lives there. There's cleaning staff. Sounded like a Tory right now. Oh, someone's being paid to clean this, so why should I bother? I'm not a Tory, by the way. I might look like our country's prime minister, but I'm not a Tory. But then again, I'm not a fucking annoying lefty girl on dating apps who make it known that they hate Tories, and they also put the pronouns in the profile. Fuck you. There's a reason why you're single. You're moderately good looking, but as soon as you include your pronouns and then proceed to tell me that you hate Tories, no, don't want anything to do with you. Not that you'd swipe right anyway, because I probably remind you of, you know, the patriarchy and the right wing. But at based Peter, yeah, definitely. Why was I talking about pronouns? Oh yeah, because I've made a comment about there's people who clean a hotel room. Yeah, you don't tend to respect a hotel room, do you? Really, when you think about it, you probably should. I never leave hotel rooms in a tip. I always clean up. If they've got a toilet brush, I'll use it. And I don't leave my towels on the floor. I will neatly put them somewhere. I'll make my bed. I'll clean up a mess. But it'll smell like a rotting corpse, because that's what my beer fart's like. And I did not want the spouse of a close friend to meet me the night before for the first time, and then their memory of me is they've stunk my house out. Plus, the idea of me potentially vomiting or shitting myself in someone's house, it plays heavily on my mind. And that's why I don't like to travel when I've been drinking the night before. But luckily, I'm one of the lucky few who can sustain themselves for a few hours by, first thing you do, wake up, have a beer. First sip, it's going to be awful, but the more you get through the beer, the better you feel. Once you finish it, you're going to feel absolutely fantastic for about half an hour, 45 minutes. Then you may feel a little bit worse than when you woke up. That's when you crack open beer number 2. You might have to do a third beer, but after that, you'll feel absolutely fine. Yeah, some alcoholics do that, but because you're only sustaining yourself, once you've had your few beers in the morning, you won't need to drink again. Obviously, I was drinking again because it was the England game, but I only had a couple of beers in the evening. So, yeah, basically, my hangover cure is don't sleep, because you're going to feel shit when you sleep. You always do. That's where hangovers come in. Now, I'm not a scientist. I've not read any research or scientific data. I've done my own research. It's an ongoing practice of how do I cope with hangovers. So I might write a thesis on it. But yeah, that's my way of doing it. Greasy food makes me feel worse. The oil from a fry up, it's just going to make that sewage water shit come out a little bit more. And it might leave a bit of a film on the toilet. That didn't happen. I was just trying to add to a gross effect. But yeah, my tip to survive a hangover is just drink a few beers the next day. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be drinking the whole day like an alcoholic, but it'll It's probably going to do a lot of damage to your body down the long run. You tricking yourself that you're okay. I suppose it's sort of like the same thing as when people eat, then instantly make themselves feel sick. I don't know. I don't know if there's a correlation there. But yeah, what the fuck am I talking about? What am I actually saying publicly on camera to people? Aside from making it sound like that I might be an alcoholic. But I'm not. I swear down. When I want to stop, I'll stop. But yeah, that's how I got through Sunday morning. And I survived a car journey without vomiting all over myself or shitting myself on a car seat. I think this might be why you're single, Pierre. And I'm getting good interaction on the comments. So, do you know what I'm going to do? I've got one more bottle of Miller Genuine Draft in the fridge. Going to quickly grab that. Going to turn the camera off and the microphone off for a second while I get that beer. We'll finish this. I might have a little bit of a chat and actually answer comments because I've had quite a few. So if you bear with me 1 second, you're a very patient audience. You waited half an hour for me to start the stream. Why am I slowing my words? This is the only beer that I've had. And, oh no, tell a liar. I had a Miller Genuine Draft when I was cooking tea. Non-bread pizzas, they're the future. Anyway, just give me a second. I need another beer. I'm not an alcoholic. Massively overweight because I'm out of breath walking up the stairs. Tell you what, this weekend has proper made me so much more conscientious of how much of a beer belly that I've got. Just give me 1 second. So, change of plan. I thought I had a couple of bottles of MGD left in the fridge. No, I don't. I only had one. I had it while I was cooking tea. So, fuck it. Why don't we have an Imperial Stout from Mondo? Barrel-aged Imperial Stout, Galileo. I'm not doing a Queen impression. And this is 10% ABV from Mondo. Not had anything from Mondo for quite a while. God, I'm really out of breath. This is terrible. If I die on camera, I might actually hit 100 views. You never know. But yeah, another beer that was kindly gifted to me by Adam. And this cost Adam the grand total of £1. A fucking pound for a 10% ABV Imperial Stout. It's from a discount shop in, I think, if you're local to Wigan, there's like it's one of those like wholesale type places, but it's open for the general public. You know, where they do those really cheesy like videos on Facebook where it's like John with his cap, beard, and hoodie telling you you can get 6 bottles of Dr. Pepper for £2, or if you get 2 packs of 6, you can get them for £3. You know, one of those sorts of deals. And yeah, they get a load of beer, and they have wicked weed in for like £2-3 a bottle, if that. So it's like happy days. I don't know if me and Adam actually plan to do a live review of this or share it, but fuck it, I'm in the mood for another beer, and I'm not an alcoholic. Anyway, let's finish this. That's really good. That's really, really nice. If you see it, pick it up. So I'll quickly catch up with the comments. Fucking hell. How fucking far back do I need to go? Okay, so the last thing that I saw was Goldrake doing putting his tongue out for me. I usually pay someone to do that. And then we've got this cunt, Lucy, who says, "Did you office beer today?" No, but I very passively aggressively emailed my boss, and then managed to go home an hour earlier than I should have, because I've got the power. I have no influence in my workplace, so it is what it is. Goldrake says, "Hello, Lucy. I don't get hangovers at all. I'm lucky." What the fuck? I'm lucky I don't get hangovers at all. I've been quite good with my hangovers as of late. I thought I'd be in much worse state on Sunday. But then again, I wasn't on form when we were having the bottle share at Adam's. I think what I've learnt from Adam's bottle share is Treehouse are just a little bit boring. And I think, and I've said this multiple times, I think here in the UK, we're producing some of the best hazy IPAs for a fraction of the cost. But yeah, Treehouse, they were all right, but it's like nothing special. I had loads last night, says Craig. Were you drowning your sorrows, sir? And then Davor says hello to Lucy. He said hello to Lucy before he said hello to me. Disrespectful, but I respect that. He probably did say hello, because there's probably loads of comments that I won't see because they don't show up on the StreamYard comment stream. When he's talking about this again, they don't show up on the StreamYard comment stream, but they do on the YouTube stream. But all together now, sometimes the YouTube stream doesn't show comments that you'd see on the StreamYard stream. I'm actually really surprised that this stream hasn't completely crapped itself by now. Says hello to Davor. Get it out, get it out. You needed to be there on Sunday. Didn't happen, unfortunately. Let's see. It's just thundering and lightning noise now. I can't read. Can't read. In lovely black country. I really want thunder and lightning. That'd be nice now. Short the stream. Shut up, Lucy. I'm joking. He sharted. I've never sharted on camera. Not that you'd know. When was the last time you sharted? I won't lie. I've probably done it about 2 times in the past year. Clueless sharter. You know me too well. Pissed it down this morning here, Goldrake. No thunderstorms though. Yeah, I do like a good thunderstorm, but I bring the thunder. I'm just typing that. Just typing that. Lucy says hello to Craig. Craig says hello to Lucy. We're a community here on the Clueless Drinker channel. Also, I came here for the Luigi outfit. Disappointment. Well, I had to put that t-shirt in the wash. And I would have worn my green dungarees, but Luigi doesn't wear green dungarees. He wears denim dungarees. Or are they denim? Because you can't really tell because it's a cartoon. You don't see the denim trim. So I don't know if it's sort of like, you know, that material that French workers' jackets are made of, or chore jackets, or whether they're denim. But yeah, I was Luigi on this bottle share. Camera reviews. I really enjoy the rain and thunderstorms. I also like walking in them. I'm that much of a saddo. You're not sad. You're just a human being, and I enjoy that. Tipper Mondays. I would if I had one. Where are your dungarees? They're actually hung up in my wardrobe. Same here, says Craig. Basically free beer. At least I ain't alone. No, I do like that. I like getting caught in the rain. I remember when I was happy at my job, when I used to do the odd late shift, like work until. I've never actually worked till 4 o'clock in the morning, but there've been sometimes where I've worked till like 2 o'clock or 12 o'clock, and I enjoyed the walk home because it was nice, it was quiet, it was dark, and I remember it was absolutely pissing down. I didn't have an umbrella. I was wearing a denim jacket, and it started to rain. Didn't care. I was absolutely sodden when I got home, but I just enjoyed being caught in the rain. But I don't like drinking pina coladas. Which, by the way, that song, like everyone, like heralds it as like this really upbeat sort of coming of two minds love song. It's basically a song about two people who cheat on their other halves and then meet up. So morally, it's a corrupt song. The singer's cool though, with his like stepdad jumper and his big glasses. By the way, that looks good. A little bit too fizzy though already. Ooh. Oh, it smells good though. Oh, also, Adam gave me this lighter. It's a big flame. Yeah, I know I don't smoke properly, but it calms me down. A little bit thin. It's got a little bit of a cola cube sort of flavour. Slightly viscous. You taste the barrel, but I wouldn't be able to tell you off the top of my head what sort of barrel has been used for this. It's very woody. A little bit of dark chocolate. I'll tell you what though, for £1, well, it was free because Adam gave me it. Because I'm just a beer whore, apparently. Which, by the way, joking aside, Adam has got to be probably one of the most generous people who I've ever come across, who would not let me pay for at least 90% of what I consumed whilst in Liverpool. Still need to transfer him for the takeaway that we had, which was like delivered at 4 o'clock in the morning. Usually you have to wait till 4 o'clock in the morning when you order at like 9 o'clock here in Skem. But yeah, I know some really generous people. I'm a bit of a steak though. So. Nice to see you back. Everything okay, says Davor? I love rain in the summer. Bedroom window open, listening to the rain. He's quite poetic when he wants to be, our Craig. And I love him for it. Good, thanks, Davor. Lots of commissions for my artwork, which is where I've been hiding. I hope you're also well. Lucy there showing off that she's an artist. I sometimes feel really shitty, even though a lot of the people, thankfully, I know I can actually say really horrific things about, and they'll find it funny. But yeah, she's a very talented artist. And you should go check her out. But I won't make her cringe by promoting her art on this stream. But you should go check her out. I won't tell you where to find her, just go check her out. Speaking of, I won't tell you where to find them. I'm still not telling anyone where I've buried the bodies. So, sorry. Are those Bensons you're smoking, Peter? No, I'm on the Players Green. And go check out my cigarette review channel. Yeah, I am partial to Players Green with a menthol card. It's got to be done. Goldrake says, Craig, yes, I really love that. I love walking in the rain too. When everywhere is quiet, I love that feeling. It is nice. It is very nice. Can we all just, instead of meeting up for a drink, can we all just walk in silence together in the rain? I'd like that. I'd like that a lot. Let's all go wild camping together. Lucy, I need to check out your artwork. I'm struggling with some issues, otherwise quite occupied with the work. Well, I hope whatever issues you're having, Davor, I hope, I'm sure you'll come out strong, my friend. But yeah, keeping your mind occupied is a godsend. My art is just a mess, really, Davor. Haha. She's modest, I'll give her that. Most of us are messed up. Indeed we are. Indeed we are. And I think that's what makes us all unique. Maybe a stupid question, but does smoking whilst drinking affect the taste? It probably does. But because I smoke like what used to be menthol cigarettes before the government stepped in on our behalves when it comes to our own health, which, by the way, no one's stopping smoking because they can't get menthol cigarettes when you can get menthol cigarellos, which are a little bit more harmful. Isn't saying much, it's a cigarette, of course it's harmful. And you can also get menthol cards to put in cigarette packets. So effectively, you can still smoke menthol. I don't understand it. I don't understand the whole menthol smoking ban. They tried it in Germany and it lasted for like 2 years. Which, if you ever are in Germany and you're a menthol cigarette smoker, I would highly recommend Gauloises menthol. Beautiful. They've got a genuinely really nice minty taste. And also check out JPS Players Green, available in some of your local cigarette shops, garages, supermarkets, and 20% off your first pack when you use code Clueless Smoker. But yeah, I think sometimes, but if a beer's got quite strong flavour to it, because I don't find that cigarettes impart a flavour, unless you can smell it on your breath, which cigarette breath is awful. But although now I'm smoking it, I'm getting a little bit of green apple flavour. So maybe it does. Well, of course, I think it's got to affect the taste somehow. But it wouldn't be as bad as if you would, let's say, how specific is this example going to be? If you bit into a grapefruit and then drank a beer, I think that's going to drastically change the beer more than drinking while you're smoking. But I'm sure there's someone in the comments who actually knows about things and stuff who would be able to give you a much better and concise answer, because I only know Peter science, as we've all seen with my thesis on how to cure a hangover. Craig says, what are you drinking, Charter? I'm drinking a barrel-aged imperial stout from Mondo called Galileo, which cost £1, and for £1, it's definitely worth it. From Mondo. I've not had much from Mondo, but underwear's clean today though, so that's always a plus. It's really nice, actually. Really, really is. A little bit thin. You're not really getting too much roasted malt. It's not like a really robust tasting imperial stout, but it's really quite drinkable for its 10% ABV. And then Golden Drake says, I'd imagine it did, to Lucy. And then we've got, check out this channel, by the way, the Steve and Was Show, which is Was and Stephen Beattie, who I've yet to actually properly talk to, because I'm a big fan of the live streams. Steve Beattie has done probably my favourite Sean Atwood podcast. That one where you were both on, if you're still watching this, was fucking fantastic. Probably the funniest Sean Atwood podcast I've seen. And of course, Steve's also been on a few, well, he's been on the Jimmy O podcast, as well as being on the live streams. So thank you for stopping by. I'd love to jump on the stream at some point. I hope you both have, well, whoever it is, if it's Steve or Was, hope you're having a nice start to your week. Let's see. It does affect also coffee drinking. It makes sense. It's just got to make sense. But I don't think I've ever had a beer ruined because I'm smoking. Because I think my lungs are being ruined much more than my taste buds. I will shart everywhere if you promote my art. But if you shart everywhere, then you're going to have to promote your OnlyFans account. Fucking OnlyFans. It's a waste of money, trust me. I can promote the art. Cult Collages on Instagram. And my cigarettes. Dead. Nearly burnt my fringe, and yet didn't nail them. But yeah, go check out Lucy's artwork. JPS, oh dear. If I can't get a hold of JPS, I do like Carlton Greens. But that's the thing. A cigarette's a cigarette, so yeah, I try and buy as cheap as possible without buying cheap when it comes to cigarettes. Because I like to think I've got some standards, which I don't think I've got any standards when it comes to anything, but it is what it is. James, with the intellectual comment of the evening, dogging, heart. All love a bit of dogging. Yes, let's do it. Walk in the rain. That would be a good day out, that. It wouldn't that be really, really sad? Well, thank you for everyone who stick around with probably one of the most boring streams to ever exist in the history of YouTube. But then again, what else are you going to do on a Monday evening? Aside from do something much better than this. There are strict rules for beer judges about cleaning the palate. I can imagine. I'd be a terrible, terrible beer judge. I'd probably judge once and then never get asked to do it again. A little bit of dark fruits coming out now. Not the Strongbow dark fruits, but sort of as if you're going back to walking in the rain, as if you're foraging in a thunderstorm on a blackberry bush. Blackberry bush, not a blackberry brush. My mate smokes Richmond's. Apparently, they're dog wank. I think pretty much every cigarette in existence is dog wank, but I don't know. I've not been smoking that long. I pretty much started about a year or so into the job that I'm at now. But I found that, see, you'll notice when you see me smoke, I can't really take it back. So to a lot of people, that defeats the purpose of smoking. But I do find it's that the action of smoking is satisfying. It's great if you've either just missed a bus or you're a little bit too early for a bus or a train and you need to occupy the time. Plus, I don't know, there's just something really oddly satisfying about it. It's a terrible, terrible thing. But it's one of those things where I can go about. If I run out of cigarettes and I can't be arsed going to the shop, I just won't smoke. But yeah, probably shouldn't smoke because it was only in the past 10 or 15 years that I outgrew asthma, if that's possible. See, that's why I benefit with something like weed, because if you cough when you're like smoking weed, you're inadvertently inhaling more than you ever would by taking a drag. It doesn't necessarily work that well with cigarettes because you'll be coughing for ages. So yeah, but I know I fundamentally shouldn't smoke, but it's just I enjoy doing it. Cigarette with a coffee, great way to start the day. Having a few cigarettes when you're going out for a drink. I think that's where it all stemmed from, really. I did try going on to vaping, but I just found myself vaping for the flavour whilst still smoking at the same time. It's a terrible, terrible thing. Never start. Just never start. It's not worth it. And I can get cigarettes cheap abroad. Has a lot of menthols at the minute. I think they're from some Eastern European country. Yeah, I think places like Poland, from what I've heard, have really good menthol cigarettes. Good notes on Castra Dark Lager. I take it. Did James review that recently? Goldrake says evening to James. And James says, I enjoyed that actually. Need to get the Orion done soon. Lateral bum, he says to Goldrake. Lucy Foster Shards Arts. That actually sounds like a really cool name, actually. Shards Arts. Shards Arts with Tony Hart. You should do a collaboration with your film review channel. Yeah, try and sort of like link a beer to a film, or try and pair a film to a beer. I'm still trying to find that sort of like come together of beer and cinema. So it's an ongoing practice which I've had very, very little success with. And then Goldrake says, always, come on anytime, mate. I would happily do so. I've been enjoying watching some of the streams that I've missed because I don't get the notifications for a lot of things, and it does my absolute tits in. But I enjoyed your one on Hope and the swearing one. That was a good one. This sat at 8. So it's Steve who's speaking tonight. Evening, Steve. Hope you're doing well. Then filth. Just pure filth, James. How dare you on this family-friendly channel, you fucking cunt. We'll check chat. I've got chat on my mind now. And I've been out of Germany for 4 years. God, I'm not funny. We'll check that out. And then I think we've... get a fucking hotel room, you two. Jesus Christ. Cal tomorrow? Yes, indeed. I've got mine in the fridge. I'm hoping, with the fact that StreamYard hasn't shat itself, keeping on the Shart theme, Shart Week on the Clueless Drinker channel. Hopefully, I can still get this up and running, because last week was a fucking nightmare trying to join. Really, really was. And phone is going to die. Night all, big love. Yeah, see you later, cunt. I always feel guilty if no, she loves it. Then Vanessa Kitty says hi. Good evening, Vanessa. Hope you're doing okay. After just experiencing me being very misogynistic and problematic. Cheers, Lucy. Welcome back, says Craig. Then good night, Lucy. Sounds like a name of a film, that, doesn't it? Walking in the rain is a must, says Vanessa. I stopped last November. I wish I had a smoke. I was a bad smoker, 3 pack per day. Fucking hell. I think I'm just about 1 pack a day at the moment. When I first started smoking, I could buy 1 pack and make that last 2 weeks, because I'd only ever smoke on my breaks at work, because the canteen is one of the most depressing places you can ever set foot into. But yeah, then that developed to like maybe 2 packs per week, and now it's gone to a pack a day. And I would like to cut down a little bit, but well done to you, sir, because I know how hard it is after seeing family and friends giving up smoking, and a lot of the time them just going back to smoking. It's a bit of a bastard. And then we've got Poundland Jesus, who says, "Hey, gorgeous, evening, beautiful. Hope you're doing okay." With your wonderful English accent. That always makes me cough a lot to know. Bud always makes me cough a lot. It's how you know it's good shit. Well, mine's just because I used to be terribly, terribly asthmatic. So my deficiency helps me get stoned a little bit quicker. I quit smoking in 1980, but started in 2000, restarted in 2017. Well, the fact that you managed to get, that's 1990, 2000, 37 years. Good on you. Very good. Let's see. Jewish breakfast or hooker's breakfast? Coffee and a smoke. Sounds like someone's living the life. And then Goldrake does more faces. And then we've got another legend amongst us with Stuart, Gingel Trail, who says, "Oh my God, it's the guy from Tinternet." Certainly is. From some dark corners of the internet, I should add. Did you comb all of your hair forward? What, like this? So I look like a pig farm. Oh no, I genuinely look like Boris Johnson there. But no, I didn't. I combed mine to the side because I've got a receding hairline. Vanessa says hi, Craig, and she says hello to Thomas. And then I would probably try cigar with whiskey. Yeah, I'd like to try cigar. Adam said he was going to give us cigars when we were at his house, but he didn't. Because Adam lies. Adam lies a lot. No, he doesn't. He's a wonderful man. Let's see. What does that say? Foot, cough, you cut the bud. Sounds like a code. Doing good, mate. Just came home from rehearsing with my band, and yeah, my accent is rubbish. No, it's not. When I first became aware of Thomas, I legitimately thought he was an Englishman living abroad. He's probably one of the most articulate and well-spoken people I've ever heard. But I hope it was a good rehearsal. But I'm glad you're doing good, my friend. I know you were absolutely gutted with the fact that England lost. Then Craig says cheers to Vanessa, and then Thomas says hi, and then Goldrake is just finishing off a ESB. Can't beat it. Not had that beer in a good long while. What was the last Fuller's beer I had? I'm not too sure. I think it may have been the Imperial Stout. How far? No, I'm not behind at all. Just finished 1 and 2 Fear Street. Is that the one that's on? Is it Netflix that's on? I've seen that advertised. Thomas English is definitely better than mine, says James. But then again, have you heard a Scottish person trying to speak English? Just joking, James. You're eloquent for a Scot. But then again, you are very good at different languages, so blushing now, yeah, footy, horrid and stuff. Did you not do ESB in your bitter comparisons? No, I've not. I've not managed to pick up a bottle of Fuller's ESB. I do need to pick one up. Last time I had it, it was a little bit ropey, but I'm going to put that down to the bottle that I had. But yeah, I think if I was to do that, I'd have to get another sort of like new bitter, so I could do a bit of a comparison with. But I think my local Tesco's sells that. I'll have to pick up a can. James, I can never understand that northerner. Yeah, James is uber north. And then Craig with a pun of the evening. I don't have a klaxon or a air horn, but if I did, I would play it right now. Says, are you bitter about that? Very bitter. Very, very bitter indeed. So, I think I'm going to call it a night because if I carry on, I'll end up opening another beer. And I shouldn't do that because it's Monday. I'm in work tomorrow. Cannot be asked with the... I can't be asked with customers, fundamentally. Hopefully no one from work watches this, but... Foreign Northern, says James. But yeah, I'm going to cut this off. As James said, we're going to be doing Pilsner Urquell on the Rampant Line Beer Reviews channel. It is a night for you, says Stuart. And nice chatting to you all. See you later, says Goldrake. Yeah, nice chatting to everyone. And some faces that I've not seen for a while. And of course, Steve from the Steve and Wash Show. Highly recommended. You go check him out. Just really fun live streams. But don't watch it if you're like easily offended by bad language or people having a sense of humour. But yeah, cheers, Steve, for stopping by. It's going to be good to finally speak to you because when Jimmy was doing his live streams, it just wasn't to join a stream at 10 o'clock wasn't feasible. But it would have been great to speak to you then. But yeah, definitely if I'm around on Saturday, I'll be jumping on. So thank you for the invite there. It'd be great to speak to you and was. Really appreciate you stopping by, and I appreciate everyone stopping by, whether in can't speak. Can't fucking speak. My brain's just turned off. You're not real. But yeah, I'll try and watch tomorrow. Talk like honey, says Thomas. But yeah, thank you all for stopping by. Whether you're a regular, whether you're someone who's not been here for a while, or whether you're someone new to the channel, thank you for stopping by and watching an overweight man sat on the floor with vintage porn posters as his background, talking about beer. And yeah, really, really appreciate all the comments this evening. Always a pleasure. So cheers for stopping by. The main part of the show, don't call it a show, you pretentious twat. But yeah, highly, highly recommended you check this out. It's a great beer. Really, really is. If you like your classic bitters with a little bit of a, hate saying it, contemporary twist, very much recommended. So we'll need to tell you about Douglas Shaggerfish tomorrow. I'm always interested about someone Shaggerfish. No, I can't think of anything funny to say as a response to that. Always wonder why the crocodiles with their bestiality. Could be. But I don't think you can really get too many alligators in Cheltenham. You can get a lot of snappers, but you can't. I don't know how many alligators you can get. Great show, says Craig from Canterbury Reviews. Much too generous. Much too generous. And had Pipeline Brew, fellow Cornish beer. Are you referring to yourself as a Cornish beer, Stuart? And Ailstorm like to say, let's have sex with crocodiles at the end of the concerts. Maybe a tribute. You never know. Could make sense. Is that just like a sentence they've said that's sort of like lost in translation that actually has a meaning in their native tongue? Are they just trying to be a little bit kooky? Is it just a little bit of fun? Maybe people reading too much into it. But yeah, if you want to have sex with crocodiles, then you're much more braver than I am. Referring to the Cornish brewery Pipeline Brew. Okay. And Craig Brew says, snap them tickets up. I'm going to end there on that classic Craig from Canterbury Reviews pun. So I want the comments to keep coming as I'm trying to end. Don't be rude, James. I want to end this stream. They have a massive rubber duck at their concerts and stuff. Their singer is a Fruit Loop quality. Makes sense, and fair play to him. And I've just assumed that the singer of band is a man, so I'm a scumbag. So, hey ho, it is what it is. Cheers for watching. Thank you for joining me and keeping me company on a really dull Monday evening. Don't know why I had pauses in between those words, but I am not William Shatner. But yeah, England tour will be last 2 weeks of March 1st of April, near next year, by the way. Well, I'll have to listen to them before I commit to a gig. Because if it's that screamy bollocks, then not interested. Let me guess, James only likes them because they hail Satan. Anyway, it is what it is. Thanks for watching. Y'all take care. Y'all stay safe. I'm English. Don't know why I'm saying y'all, but it is what it is. We do very strange things sometimes. And yeah, good level of viewership, which is very rare for the Clueless Drink channel. And yeah, they're pirate metal. Okay. If you want to create a genre of music, fair dues. But is that as good as Viking metal then? I'll leave that for you all to ponder because I could just sit here all night reading comments. Anyway, cheers for watching, folks. Thank you all for stopping by. I'm terrible at ending streams. Always takes me ages. But yeah, I've had a good couple of beers this evening. Not bad for a Monday. And I hope everyone's had a good day today. And I hope you have a much better week. And oh my dizzy days, says Stuart. I'm going to end on that one. So if anyone comments going forward, I'm not going to read it. So I do apologise. And apologies to anyone who's actually commented and it's not shown up on the StreamYard comments. But do appreciate your custom anyway. Yeah, cheers for watching. I'm terrible at ending stuff, aside from relationships, but that's another story for another day. See you guys later. You take care.